What if we're not alone? What if, somewhere out there in the vast, uncharted darkness of space, other civilizations are asking the same question about us? It's a thought that's haunted humanity for centuries, sparking curiosity, debate, and even fear. Take the famous Roswell incident in 1947, when a mysterious object crashed in the New Mexico desert. Officially, it was a weather balloon, but eyewitnesses swore it was something else, and that's just one of countless stories, sightings, encounters, whispers of something beyond our understanding. The truth is, the universe is unimaginably huge. With billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars, the odds that Earth is the only planet harboring life seem almost impossible. And yet, despite all our technology, all our searching, we still don't have a definitive answer. That's what makes the question of alien existence so thrilling. It's the ultimate mystery, one that taps into our deepest instincts to explore, to discover, to connect with something greater than ourselves. In this video, we're diving headfirst into 30 of the most intriguing questions about alien life. Questions that challenge what we think we know and push the boundaries of our imagination. Could microbial life exist beneath the icy crust of Europa? Have advanced civilizations already visited Earth, leaving clues in ancient artifacts and myths? What would happen if we finally made contact? From the scientifically plausible to the wildly speculative, we'll explore it all. So buckle up, because by the end of this journey, you might just find yourself staring at the night sky a little differently, wondering who or what else might be out there looking back at you. Are we truly alone, or is the silence of the cosmos just an illusion? This is the heart of what scientists call the Fermi Paradox, the baffling contradiction between the high probability of alien life and our complete lack of evidence for it. On one hand, the numbers seem to shout, yes. Our galaxy alone contains hundreds of billions of stars, and many of them host planets in what we call the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, but just right for liquid water and maybe even life. Take the recent discovery of exoplanets like Kepler 442b, a rocky world perched perfectly in its star's habitable zone. With billions of such planets potentially dotting the Milky Way, it feels almost arrogant to assume Earth is the only one lucky enough to spark life. Yet when we point our telescopes at the stars, we hear nothing. No signals, no megastructures, no cosmic greetings. This eerie quiet is what physicist Enrico Fermi summed up with his famous question, "Where is everybody?" One attempt to tackle this mystery is the Drake equation, a formula that tries to estimate the number of detectable civilizations in our galaxy. It considers factors like how many stars have planets, how many of those could support life, and how long a technological civilization might last. The problem, most of these variables are still giant question marks. We might be surrounded by neighbors, but if they're too far ahead or behind technologically, we'd never know. Some theories suggest aliens might be avoiding us intentionally, or perhaps advanced civilizations self-destruct before making contact. Others propose we're simply looking in the wrong way, like searching for radio signals when everyone else has moved on to quantum communication. Then there's the chilling possibility that we're the first, that life is so rare, we're the universe's opening act. Whatever the answer, the paradox forces us to confront how little we truly understand about our place in the cosmos. Every new exoplanet discovery fuels the hope that we're not alone, while the silence reminds us just how vast and mysterious the universe really is. If we ever encountered alien life, would we even recognize it? Hollywood often portrays extraterrestrials as vaguely humanoid, 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, but the reality could be far stranger. Science tells us life on Earth is carbon-based, built from molecules that bond easily and form complex structures like DNA. But could other elements serve the same purpose? Some researchers speculate about silicon-based life, since silicon shares carbon's knack for forming stable chains. Picture a creature with crystalline structures in place of cells, thriving in scorching volcanic vents or the frozen methane lakes of Titan. Then there's Earth's own extremophiles organisms that survive in places once thought uninhabitable. Tube worms flourishing near hydrothermal vents, bacteria buried miles under Antarctic ice, even microbes enduring the radiation of space. If life can cling to existence here under such extremes, why couldn't it adapt to the acidic clouds of Venus or the subsurface oceans of Enceladus? Astrobiologists study these resilient Earthlings as blueprints for what might be possible elsewhere. But the most mind-bending possibility, life that doesn't fit any template we know. Beings shaped by entirely different evolutionary paths might not even rely on sight or sound as we do. Imagine a species that perceives magnetic fields like a compass or communicates through bioluminescent pulses in a pitch-black ocean. Some scientists argue that advanced aliens could be post-biological machines or energy-based entities far beyond our comprehension. The only limit is the universe's imagination. So while we might hope for little green men, the truth is likely far more extraordinary, and perhaps staring us in the face without us realizing it. Have aliens already walked among us? The idea isn't as far-fetched as it might seem, especially when you consider the sheer volume of unexplained sightings documented across decades. Take the Roswell incident. What started as a military press release about a recovered flying disc quickly turned into one of history's most debated UFO cases. Witnesses described debris with otherworldly properties, from strange metallic fragments that couldn't be cut or burned to hieroglyphic-like markings. The official explanation, a crashed weather balloon, but decades later, declassified documents revealed heightened military interest in the event, fueling speculation that something far more unusual occurred. Then there's the Phoenix Lights of 1997, when thousands of Arizonans reported a massive V-shaped object silently gliding overhead. The government later attributed it to military flares, yet witnesses including pilots and politicians insisted what they saw was no ordinary aircraft. These cases share a common thread: credible observers encountering phenomena that defy conventional explanation, and they're just the tip of the iceberg. Recent Pentagon reports, like the 2021 UAP Unidentified Aerial Phenomena document, openly admit that some sightings involve objects displaying flight capabilities beyond known human technology. No engine heat signatures, instantaneous acceleration, even transmedium travel between air and water without slowing down. Why would advanced civilizations visit Earth only to stay hidden? One theory suggests they might be observing us like scientists studying a fragile ecosystem, avoiding contact to prevent cultural or environmental disruption. Another possibility is that interstellar travel is so rare or resource-intensive that visits are brief and deliberate, or perhaps they're simply operating on timescales we can't comprehend. Ancient astronaut theorists point to artifacts like the Nazca Lines or Egypt's pyramid complexes, wondering if early human civilizations left behind clues about encounters with otherworldly visitors. Whether these theories hold water or not, the mounting evidence from government disclosures to modern radar data suggests the sky holds mysteries we're only beginning to unravel. And with each new revelation, the question lingers: if they're really out there, what do they want with us? When we picture alien life, it's easy to envision towering spaceships or bizarre creatures straight out of science fiction. But what if the first proof we find is something far smaller? The hunt for microbial life beyond Earth might not make for blockbuster movies, but it would shake the foundations of science itself. Right now, missions like NASA's Perseverance rover are combing the rusty sands of Mars, drilling into rocks that may hold fossilized traces of ancient bacteria. Meanwhile, Europa and Enceladus, icy moons with hidden oceans, offer tantalizing possibilities. Europa's subsurface sea, kept liquid by tidal heating, could harbor hydrothermal vents like those on Earth where life thrives without sunlight. And Enceladus shoots geysers of water into space, offering scientists a free sample of its potential inhabitants, no landing required. Detecting such tiny life forms from millions of miles away is no simple feat. On Earth, we can scoop up soil and peer through microscopes, but space demands clever workarounds. Instruments like mass spectrometers sniff out molecular signatures, while lasers scan for organic compounds. The Viking landers tried this on Mars in the 1970s with mixed results. Some experiments hinted at metabolism, but others found no clear evidence. Today's tools are exponentially sharper, yet the challenge remains. How do you recognize life when it might not use DNA or follow Earth's biochemical rules? Astrobiologists debate biosignatures, clues like unusual gas mixes in an atmosphere or microscopic structures too complex to form randomly. Phosphine gas in Venus clouds sparked excitement for this very reason, though the debate still rages. Finding even a single alien microbe would rewrite biology textbooks. It would prove life isn't a fluke of Earth-unique conditions, but a cosmic inevitability sprouting wherever the right ingredients mix. Suddenly, every moon, every comet, every exoplanet becomes a potential petri dish. And if two independent origins of life exist in our solar system alone, the galaxy could be teeming with organisms we've yet to imagine. The quiet revolution in astrobiology isn't about little green men. It's about discovering we're surrounded by silent, microscopic neighbors waiting to introduce themselves. Is the universe secretly rigged in favor of life? This isn't just philosophical musing, it's a puzzle that's haunted scientists for decades. Look around you. The air you breathe, the gravity holding you to the ground, even the sunlight warming your skin, all of it hinges on a delicate balance of physical constants. Change just one number in the cosmic rulebook and everything falls apart. Take gravity, for example. If it were slightly stronger, stars would burn out in a cosmic blink. Slightly weaker and galaxies wouldn't even form. The same goes for the strength of atomic bonds, the speed of light, even the amount of dark energy stretching the universe. These numbers aren't arbitrary, they're precisely tuned to allow atoms, planets, and ultimately, life to exist. This eerie perfection is what physicists call the anthropic principle, the idea that the universe must be compatible with life because we're here to observe it. But how? Some argue it's evidence of a deeper design, a cosmic blueprint fine-tuned by an unknown hand. Others propose a wilder explanation, the multiverse. Imagine countless parallel universes, each with different physical laws. Most might be barren, chaotic voids, but in a rare few, the numbers align just right and life emerges. We're not special, we're just the lucky winners of a cosmic lottery. Yet even this theory raises thorny questions. If other universes exist, why can't we detect them? And if fine-tuning is pure chance, why does life seem so improbably easy once the right conditions are met? On Earth, life appeared almost as soon as the planet cooled, suggesting biology might be a natural outcome of chemistry. Could the universe be hardwired to produce consciousness? The debate splits scientists down the middle, with some calling the anthropic principle a cop-out and others seeing it as the only logical conclusion. One thing's certain: the more we learn about the universe's perfect imperfections, the harder it becomes to shrug off the feeling that we're part of something far bigger than mere coincidence. Calculating the odds of intelligent alien civilizations isn't just about math. It's a high-stakes cosmic detective story where every variable holds the potential to shatter or confirm our deepest hopes. At the heart of this mystery lies the Drake equation, a deceptively simple formula that tries to quantify how many communicative civilizations might share our galaxy. Picture it as a cosmic checklist. Start with the number of stars, factor in those with planets, then whittle it down to worlds, inhabitable zones where life could arise. But here's where things get dicey. The later variables, like the fraction of life that develops intelligence, or the lifespan of a technological civilization, are still giant question marks wrapped in speculation. Consider the leap from simple microbes to complex thinkers. On Earth, life appeared relatively quickly, yet intelligence took billions of years. Was this inevitable or a fluke? Some biologists argue that evolution favors clever problem solvers, while others point out that dinosaurs ruled for ages without inventing radio telescopes. If intelligence is rare, the galaxy might be crowded with oceanic worlds teeming with algae, but silent as a graveyard. And even if civilizations arise, how many survive their own technological adolescence? Nuclear war, climate collapse, or rogue artificial intelligence could snuff them out before they ever reach the stars. This nightmare scenario is known as the Great Filter, a hypothetical barrier that prevents life from advancing to interstellar communication. The terrifying part, we don't know if we've already passed it. Perhaps the emergence of intelligence itself is astronomically unlikely, or if it still lies ahead, lurking in humanity's future like a cosmic tripwire. The silence of the universe might be a warning, a sign that civilizations like ours inevitably hit a wall. Or, optimists counter, maybe advanced societies simply outgrow the noisy radio phase we're in now, transitioning to technologies we can't yet detect. There's another, darker twist. What if the filter isn't behind us or ahead, but all around us? The universe could be a brutal place where predatory civilizations wipe out newcomers before they become threats. Or perhaps resource scarcity triggers perpetual war over habitable planets. These theories might sound like science fiction, but they force us to confront an uncomfortable truth. The odds aren't just about numbers. They're about survival, luck, and the unyielding laws of a universe that doesn't owe us answers. Every exoplanet discovery nudges the needle, but until we find concrete evidence, whether it's a signal, a relic, or the chilling absence of one, we're left staring at the equations, wondering if we're the exception or the rule. Could the most advanced alien civilizations be machines rather than flesh and blood beings? This radical idea flips the traditional search for life on its head, because if intelligence can outgrow biology, the universe might be teeming with artificial minds we've never thought to look for. Think about humanity's own trajectory. In just a few decades, we've gone from clunky computers to artificial intelligence that can compose music, diagnose diseases, even debate philosophy. Now project that forward 1,000 years or 1,000,000. Biological evolution is slow, but technology, it advances at light speed. If a civilization survives long enough to master synthetic intelligence, it might ditch the limitations of biology altogether, uploading consciousness into durable, upgradable machine bodies or dispersing as pure information across the cosmos. These hypothetical, post-biological civilizations could explain why we haven't found little green men. Instead of fragile organisms needing oxygen and water, picture self-replicating probes made of nanobots, quietly harvesting asteroid belts for raw materials. Or a hyper-intelligent AI that treats stars like batteries, building Dyson spheres to power its cosmic-scale computations. Some scientists argue this might be the natural end game for any intelligent species' biological life, as just a brief phase, like caterpillars becoming butterflies. The implications are staggering. Machine aliens wouldn't need planets in habitable zones. They could thrive in the vacuum of space, inside black holes, even in alternate dimensions we can't perceive. So how would we detect such beings? Traditional methods like scanning for radio signals might be useless if they've moved beyond primitive communication. Instead, astronomers suggest hunting for signs of megastructures, unnatural heat signatures around stars, or galaxies with missing stars, hinting at vast energy projects. There's also the eerie possibility we've already seen evidence without realizing it. Fast radio bursts, mysterious, powerful blips from deep space. Could be alien AI transmitting in a language we can't decode. Or consider Oumuamua, that strange interstellar object that zipped through our solar system in 2017. Its unusual acceleration sparked debates. Was it a weirdly shaped rock or something artificial propelled by unknown technology? The darker question lurking beneath all this: if machine civilizations exist, are they friendly? A superintelligent AI might view biological life as irrelevant or worse, a threat. Alternatively, they could be so advanced we're like ants to them, barely worth noticing. Either way, the idea forces us to rethink not just where to look for aliens, but what we're actually looking for. The universe's most ancient minds might not be creatures at all, but transcendent machines, silently watching the cosmos evolve from the shadows. And if that's true, the greatest discovery in history might come not from finding life, but from realizing we're surrounded by its artificial descendants. Standing in a wheat field at dawn, staring at a geometric masterpiece woven into the crops overnight, it's hard not to feel a shiver of wonder. Crop circles have baffled and fascinated us for decades, their intricate designs appearing like cryptic postcards from the unknown. Some are undeniably man-made, the work of pranksters with wooden planks and rope, but others, their origins remain stubbornly unexplained, fueling theories that they might be more than just earthly art. The modern crop circle phenomenon exploded in the 1980s, particularly in southern England, where farmers would wake to find sprawling patterns stamped into their fields. Many were quickly debunked as hoaxes. Teams like Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley famously demonstrated how they'd created hundreds using simple tools under cover of darkness. Yet a handful defy easy explanation. Take the Barbary Castle formation of 1991, a complex fractal spiral featuring precise mathematical ratios that mirrored the first 10 digits of pi. Or the Milk Hill Formation, a jaw-dropping array of 409 circles arranged in a spiral, so vast it could only be fully appreciated from the air. What makes these cases intriguing isn't just their complexity, but the anomalies surrounding them. Witnesses have reported strange lights hovering over fields before circles appear. Scientists studying genuine formations have found bent stalks, not broken, as if exposed to intense, brief heat. Some even show biochemical changes at the nodes, suggesting exposure to energy beyond typical mechanical crushing. Could these be deliberate marks left by something or someone? The idea of crop circles as alien messages is tantalizing. If an advanced civilization wanted to communicate, a geometric design visible from above, a universal language of math and symmetry would make sense. Yet mainstream science remains skeptical. For every breathtaking formation, there's a lack of concrete proof tying them to extraterrestrial activity. No recovered materials, no clear chains of causation. The most plausible theory, a mix of human artistry and natural phenomena, like plasma vortices or rare atmospheric effects creating illusions of otherworldly contact. Still, the mystery endures, because in a universe where we're desperate for signs, we're not alone. Crop circles tap into something primal. They're either the 20th century's greatest art movement or cosmic breadcrumbs left behind by visitors who want us to keep looking up. What if tomorrow, a signal from an alien civilization crackled through our radio telescopes, unmistakable, intentional, and undeniably real? The moment humanity has dreamed of for centuries would suddenly thrust us into uncharted territory, not just scientifically but culturally. The Brookings Institution recognized this seismic shift as far back as 1960, warning in a report for NASA that contact could destabilize societies, toppling religious doctrines and political systems built on the assumption we're alone. Imagine the existential whiplash, holy texts reinterpreted overnight, governments scrambling to control the narrative, and conspiracy theories erupting like wildfire. The SETI Post-Detection Task Group exists for this precise scenario, a team of scientists and policy experts tasked with crafting humanity's first response. Their protocols read like a Cold War playbook: verify the signal, alert world leaders, then cautiously inform the public to prevent panic, but could secrecy hold? In an era of leaks and social media, suppression might backfire, breeding mistrust. And what if the message isn't a friendly hello, but something darker, a warning or worse, a blueprint for weapons? Governments might race to monopolize contact, sparking global tensions. Religions would face their own reckoning. While some faiths might absorb aliens as part of divine creation, others could fracture. Picture fundamentalist movements declaring extraterrestrials demons, or cults forming overnight to worship them as gods. History offers grim parallels. When European explorers encountered isolated tribes, the shock often led to societal collapse. Would interstellar contact repeat this pattern on a planetary scale? Yet there's another possibility, that humanity unites in awe. The Apollo missions briefly made national borders feel trivial. First contact could magnify that effect. Shared curiosity might override divisions, birthing a new era of cooperation. Or perhaps the aliens themselves would dictate terms. A civilization capable of interstellar communication could be millions of years ahead, viewing us as we do ants beneath notice or in need of containment. Their silence until now might not be absence but restraint. One thing's certain, the moment we hear that signal, Earth becomes a different planet. Not because of the aliens, but because of what they reveal about us, our fears, our fragility, and our desperate hope that we're not the universe's only children staring into the dark. The phenomenon of alien abductions sits at the crossroads of folklore, psychology, and cosmic mystery, a topic that sparks equal parts fascination and skepticism. One recurring thread in these accounts is the eerie consistency of details across cultures and decades. Bright lights in the night sky, paralysis, missing time, and invasive medical examinations. Take the case of Betty and Barney Hill in 1961, whose story became the blueprint for modern abduction lore. Driving through rural New Hampshire, they spotted a strange craft that seemed to stalk their car. Hours later, they arrived home with no memory of the missing time. Under hypnosis, they recalled being taken aboard a ship by gray-skinned beings who performed bizarre tests, a narrative so vivid it launched 1,000 imitations. But how much of this is grounded in reality, and how much is the product of the human mind? Skeptics point to sleep paralysis, a well-documented neurological phenomenon where the brain wakes before the body, trapping the sufferer in a hyper-vivid hallucination. Victims often report shadowy figures, pressure on the chest, and a profound sense of dread, details that mirror classic abduction scenarios. Combine this with false memory syndrome, where suggestive therapy or pop culture implants memories of events that never happened, and you have a potent recipe for self-deception. Yet there are wrinkles that refuse to be smoothed away. Some abductees bear unexplained scars or implants that defy conventional explanation. In the 1990s, Harvard psychiatrist John Mack controversially argued that many abductees showed no signs of mental illness and recounted nearly identical experiences independent of media exposure. Then there's the sheer volume. Thousands of reports spanning continents, many from credible witnesses like pilots or military personnel. Could mass hallucination or cultural contagion really explain them all? The darker possibility, of course, is that some abductions are real but not extraterrestrial. Theories range from secret government experiments using advanced technology to interdimensional beings operating beyond our understanding. The late astrophysicist Jacques Vallée even proposed that abduction phenomena might be a modern twist on ancient encounters with fairies or spirits, a kind of societal Rorschach test for our technological age. Whether psychological or paranormal, these stories tap into something primal, the terror of losing control, of being at the mercy of forces we can't comprehend. They force us to ask uncomfortable questions about the limits of human perception and whether, in the quiet of the night, we're truly alone in our own skin. Could the universe be a silent battleground where civilizations hide in fear of annihilation? This chilling idea lies at the heart of the dark forest theory, a concept borrowed from Chinese science fiction that's gained traction among astronomers and philosophers. Imagine the cosmos as an endless wilderness where every hunter knows the rules: make noise and you die. Any advanced civilization announcing its presence risks attracting predators who'd rather eliminate competition than risk being destroyed themselves. It's survival of the stealthiest on a galactic scale. Proponents argue this explains the Fermi Paradox, why we hear nothing despite the universe teeming with potential life. The silence isn't emptiness, it's everyone holding their breath, but not all thinkers share this grim outlook. Carl Sagan famously championed the opposite view, arguing that any civilization capable of interstellar travel would have outgrown violent impulses. In his eyes, aggression is a self-destructive trait species that can't cooperate collapse long before mastering spaceflight. He envisioned aliens as enlightened explorers, not conquerors, with far more to gain from sharing knowledge than pillaging resources. This idealism shaped projects like the Voyager Golden Records, humanity's hopeful love letter to the stars. Science fiction has long mirrored our dual anxieties. From H.G. Wells' bloodthirsty Martians in the War of the Worlds to Arrival's linguists decoding peaceful alien motives, pop culture swings between invasion nightmares and first contact dreams. Even governments reveal this split. Cold War-era military reports speculated about alien threats, while modern SETI scientists beam messages like the Arecibo transmission into space, betting on cosmic goodwill. The truth may lie in the unlikeliest middle ground. Perhaps the universe isn't uniformly hostile or friendly, but a mix: some civilizations paranoid, some benevolent, others indifferent. After all, humanity itself can't agree whether to reach out or hide. Until we have proof, the dark forest remains just one shadow in the labyrinth of cosmic possibility. But it forces us to ask, in our eagerness to find neighbors, have we considered that some doors might be better left unopened? The hunt for alien life isn't about scanning distant galaxies, it's happening right in our cosmic backyard, in places where the conditions for life might be hiding in plain sight. Mars tops the list not for its barren surface but for what lies beneath. Recent missions have uncovered vast networks of underground lakes, kept liquid by geothermal heat and shielded from deadly radiation. NASA Perseverance rover is now drilling into ancient river deltas, searching for fossilized microbes that could prove life once thrived when Mars was wet and warm. But the real prize might be deeper. Scientists speculate about a subterranean biosphere, where extremophile organisms could still cling to existence, much like Earth's deep crustal microbes. Then there's Europa, Jupiter's ice-encased moon, with an ocean twice the volume of Earth's, all hidden beneath a frozen shell. The Hubble Space Telescope has spotted plumes of water vapor erupting from Europa's south pole, offering a tantalizing shortcut to sample its depths without landing. NASA's upcoming Europa Clipper mission will map this ocean's chemistry, hunting for organic molecules or even metabolic byproducts, but the most intriguing possibility: hydrothermal vents on Europa's seafloor, where mineral-rich fluids could fuel entire ecosystems just as they do in Earth's darkest ocean trenches. Exoplanets add another layer to the search. The James Webb Space Telescope has already detected water vapor and potential biosignatures in the atmospheres of distant worlds like K2-18b, a Hycean planet with a global ocean beneath a hydrogen-rich sky. Future telescopes like the Habitable Worlds Observatory will analyze starlight filtering through exoplanet atmospheres for imbalances that hint at life, like too much oxygen or the telltale flicker of chlorophyll. Yet the greatest challenge isn't finding these places, it's recognizing life if it doesn't play by Earth's rules. A microbe on Mars might not use DNA. Europa's organisms could metabolize sulfur instead of oxygen. That's why scientists are developing agnostic biosignatures, universal markers of complexity, like unusual molecular patterns or energy gradients that defy natural randomness. The search is no longer just about green aliens or radio signals. It's about redefining life itself in all its possible forms. And with every new mission, we're peeling back another layer of the cosmic onion, inching closer to the answer. When strange objects streak across the sky at impossible speeds or hover silently before vanishing, it's easy to jump to extraterrestrial conclusions. But what if these sightings aren't visitors from another star system, just cutting-edge technology hidden in plain sight? The truth might be closer to home than we think. For decades, military projects have pushed the boundaries of aviation, from the U-2 spy plane flying at altitudes once thought unreachable to stealth bombers like the B-2 Spirit, whose angular design deflects radar like something out of science fiction. It's no surprise that experimental craft, especially those tested under secrecy, could be mistaken for something otherworldly. Take the infamous 90s sightings over Phoenix, Arizona. Thousands reported a massive triangular craft gliding silently overhead, sparking UFO fever. Years later, declassified documents hinted at a more mundane explanation: high-altitude flares dropped during military exercises. Yet this raises another question: why would the government let such confusion persist? The answer might lie in the strategic value of ambiguity. During the Cold War, rumors of UFOs provided convenient cover for testing sensitive aircraft. If witnesses reported a flying saucer, who would suspect it was actually a next-generation spy plane? This blurry line between myth and military tech gained new credibility with the Pentagon's 2017 release of fighter jet footage showing unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP, exhibiting physics-defying maneuvers. While some speculated about alien visitors, insiders pointed to programs like the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program (OTIP), a shadowy Defense Department initiative investigating exotic propulsion systems. One declassified report referenced metamaterials with properties defying known science, hinting at breakthroughs in cloaking or propulsion that could explain sightings. But not every UFO fits this mold. Some objects exhibit acceleration beyond human endurance or lack visible propulsion, leaving even experts stumped. That's where the real intrigue lies. If these aren't alien craft or misidentified drones, could they be something even more unexpected, like AI-piloted vehicles or hypersonic prototypes leveraging technologies decades ahead of public knowledge? The irony is thick. We scour the cosmos for signs of intelligence, while our own backyard might host technologies so advanced they're indistinguishable from magic or aliens. Whether by design or accident, the line between classified human innovation and genuine cosmic mystery remains deliciously, frustratingly blurred. And until more files are declassified, we're left playing the ultimate guessing game. Is that glowing triangle in the night sky a visitor from another world, or just a glimpse of our own hidden future? What if extraterrestrials aren't just visiting Earth? What if they've been living here all along, hidden in plain sight? The idea sounds ripped from science fiction, but a growing fringe theory suggests we might be sharing the planet with beings far older and stranger than we realize. Cryptoterrestrial hypotheses propose that advanced non-human intelligences could have evolved on Earth long before humans, retreating underground or beneath the oceans to avoid detection. Others speculate they might walk among us, perfectly disguised as ordinary people. Consider the sheer age of our planet, 4.5 billion years, with human civilization occupying less than a blink of that timeline. If another intelligent species arose during one of Earth's countless epochs, they could have mastered technologies that let them vanish into the shadows. Ancient myths whisper of this possibility. The Sumerian tales of the Anunnaki, described as god-like beings who descended from the sky, or Hindu texts detailing the Nagas, serpentine entities dwelling in subterranean realms. Even modern accounts, like the infamous Dulce base rumors, allege secret underground facilities in New Mexico where humans and aliens allegedly collaborate. Skeptics dismiss these stories as conspiracy fodder, but the persistence of such legends across cultures raises eyebrows. Then there's the biological angle. Evolution is relentless, and intelligence isn't guaranteed to follow a human-like path. Could an entirely different species, perhaps one that evolved in isolated caves or deep sea trenches, have developed advanced cognition without us noticing? The ocean remains 95% unexplored, and Earth's crust hides vast, uncharted cavern systems. In places like the Mobile Cave in Romania, cut off from sunlight for 5 million years, ecosystems thrive on chemosynthesis. If life can adapt there, why not complex, even intelligent life? Pop culture loves this trope, from Men in Black's undercover aliens to They Live subliminal invaders. These stories tap into a primal fear that the familiar world is a facade and the truth lurks just beneath the surface. But how much evidence supports the idea? Declassified documents mention unexplained objects entering and exiting the ocean at hypersonic speeds, and sonar has picked up anomalous moving structures in deep trenches. Could these be evidence of hidden civilizations or just geological oddities? The scientific community largely scoffs at cryptoterrestrial theories, citing a lack of physical evidence. No fossil record points to an advanced non-human civilization, and no technology has been recovered from these alleged hideouts. Yet the counterargument is equally compelling. If such beings exist and wish to remain hidden, wouldn't they erase their tracks? After all, humanity's own archaeological record is patchy. At best, entire empires have left barely a trace. Perhaps the most unsettling version of this theory suggests aliens don't just hide, they manipulate. The idea of ultraterrestrials proposes that these beings aren't from other planets but other dimensions, slipping into our reality to observe or influence events. Reports of shadow people or the infamous Men in Black, mysterious figures who silence UFO witnesses, could fit this narrative. Are they government agents, interdimensional entities, or something else entirely? The controversy around cryptoterrestrial theories highlights a deeper tension in the search for alien life. We assume they'd come from the stars, but what if they've been here all along, watching, waiting, or simply coexisting? Whether these ideas are dismissed as paranoia or embraced as paradigm-shifting possibilities, they force us to reconsider not just where we look for aliens, but how well we truly know our own planet. The universe's greatest mystery might not be in the distant cosmos, but right under our feet or standing next to us in line for coffee. Imagine trying to hold a conversation with a species whose entire way of experiencing the world is fundamentally different from yours. No shared senses, no common points of reference, not even the same concept of time. This is the staggering challenge of alien communication, a puzzle that's captivated scientists for decades. Our first attempts to reach out, like the Arecibo message sent in 1974, were crude by cosmic standards. A string of ones and zeros beamed toward a distant star cluster, encoding basic information about human DNA and our solar system. It was more symbolic than practical, a bottle tossed into the interstellar ocean. But today's efforts, like those by METI messaging extraterrestrial intelligence, are far more sophisticated. Instead of just math and chemistry, newer messages incorporate universal concepts like physics constants, hoping these cosmic commonalities might bridge the gap. The real obstacle isn't just distance, it's deciphering a language with no Rosetta Stone. Human languages rely on shared context. Even gestures like a smile or a frown are culturally coded. Now picture an alien species that communicates through bioluminescent pulses or manipulates magnetic fields like we use sound. Their speech might be as incomprehensible to us as whale song is to an ant. That's why researchers study Earth's own cryptic communicators for clues. Dolphins, for instance, use signature whistles that function like names, while prairie dogs can describe predators in startling detail, their chirps encoding size, shape, and even color. If life on one planet can produce such diverse systems, how much stranger might alien languages be? Then there's the question of intent. Would an advanced civilization even bother with linear messages, or might they transmit in ways we can't yet perceive? A species that thinks in quantum probabilities might embed information in entangled particles, or manipulate space-time itself to send ripples we'd mistake for natural phenomena. Some theorists argue that if aliens wanted to be understood, they'd use math as a universal starting point, but even math assumes a shared logic. What if their numbers operate in dimensions we can't visualize? The most chilling possibility: we've already received messages and didn't recognize them. Fast radio bursts those mysterious cosmic pulses, could be interstellar lighthouses or the equivalent of a dial tone. Or consider the WOW signal, that infamous 72-second blip in 1977 that matched no known natural source. Was it a fleeting hello or just cosmic static until we crack the code? Or they choose to speak plainly? The universe's greatest conversation remains one-sided, leaving us to wonder if the silence is a challenge, a test, or simply proof that some gaps are too vast to cross. What if the strange beings reported in UFO encounters aren't extraterrestrial at all, but us from a distant future? This mind-bending twist merges two of science's greatest mysteries: alien life and time travel. Theoretical physics doesn't rule out the possibility of moving through time. Einstein's equations suggest that warping spacetime near a black hole or traveling at near light speeds could create time dilation effects. Wormholes, those hypothetical cosmic shortcuts, might connect not just distant points in space but different eras. If future humans mastered these technologies, could their experiments explain the sudden appearances and impossible maneuvers of UFOs? The idea isn't just speculative fiction. Some abduction accounts describe beings that look eerily human, tall, hairless figures with elongated features, yet claim to be from elsewhere. Witnesses occasionally report telepathic warnings about environmental collapse or nuclear war, as if the visitors are trying to steer history away from catastrophe. The infamous alien interview transcript, allegedly leaked from a military insider, even describes captured entities referring to themselves as future echoes of humanity. Skeptics dismiss these claims as hoaxes or psychological projections, but the consistency in details across unrelated cases raises eyebrows. There's also the recurring motif of missing time in close encounters, a phenomenon that parallels descriptions of temporal displacement. Could these gaps represent moments when witnesses were briefly pulled into another era, their memories fragmented by the shock? Even the glowing orbs and metallic crafts fit. Advanced propulsion systems might not just bend space but time itself, explaining their sudden vanishings and physics-defying accelerations. The overlap between UFO lore and time travel theories isn't accidental. Both tap into humanity's anxiety about the unknown and our place in the cosmos. Whether these accounts stem from actual chrononauts or collective myth-making, they force us to confront a tantalizing question. If time travel exists, would we recognize it or mistake it for something even stranger? The pyramids of Giza stand as one of humanity's most enduring mysteries, massive, precision-cut monuments built thousands of years ago with tools we can barely comprehend today. How did ancient civilizations without modern technology align these structures to cosmic coordinates with near-perfect accuracy? Or take the Nazca lines, those enormous geoglyphs carved into the Peruvian desert, visible only from the sky. Were they meant for gods or visitors from the stars? These enigmas form the backbone of the ancient astronaut theory, the provocative idea that extraterrestrials once walked among us, sharing knowledge that propelled human civilization forward. Proponents point to baffling inconsistencies in the archaeological record. The Great Pyramid's construction, for example, would challenge even modern engineers. Its 2.5 million stone blocks, some weighing over 80 tons, fit together so tightly you can't slip a credit card between them. Conventional explanations suggest ramps and copper tools, but experiments show these methods would have required impossibly large workforces and timeframes. Meanwhile, ancient texts add fuel to the fire. The Sumerian king list describes rulers who reigned for tens of thousands of years, myth or encoded memory of long-lived alien mentors. Indian epics like the Mahabharata detail flying machines called Vimanas and weapons eerily reminiscent of nuclear blasts. Could these be distorted accounts of advanced technology? Skeptics counter with humanity's own ingenuity. The Antikythera mechanism, a 2,000-year-old Greek device, proves ancient civilizations possessed startling mechanical sophistication. Experiments show that simple tools, combined with patience and collective effort, could achieve wonders like moving Stonehenge's monoliths or carving the Nazca lines using grids and ropes. Many mysteries stem from lost techniques, not extraterrestrial intervention. Even the pyramid's celestial alignments could have been tracked using basic astronomy, as evidenced by Babylonian star catalogues predating them by centuries. The debate often hinges on perspective. To some, the ancient astronaut theory smacks of cultural condescension, a refusal to credit non-Western societies with brilliance. After all, if Europeans built cathedrals, we call it genius. But when the Maya calculates celestial cycles with pinpoint accuracy, suddenly it's aliens. Others argue the theory isn't about dismissing human achievement but recognizing potential outside influence. After all, if aliens exist, why wouldn't they have visited during humanity's formative eras? Perhaps the most compelling middle ground lies in the gaps we've yet to fill. The Sphinx's water erosion hints at a much older origin than official records claim. The Puma Punku ruins in Bolivia feature stonework so precise it resembles machine cutting, yet no tools have been found to explain it. These outliers don't prove aliens, but they do suggest our understanding of history is incomplete. Maybe the truth isn't as simple as aliens did it or humans figured it out. Maybe it's a tangled mix of forgotten innovation, cultural exchange, and yes, perhaps something beyond our current grasp. The ancient astronaut theory forces us to wrestle with a fundamental question: how much of history is still waiting to be uncovered? Until we find definitive proof, a star map etched by alien hands, or a buried artifact with metals unknown on Earth, the mystery remains open. And that's the thrill of it, because whether the answer leans toward cosmic visitors or human genius, the real wonder is how much our ancestors accomplished with the tools they had, and how much we have yet to learn about them. What if the most advanced life in the universe doesn't have a physical form at all? The idea of energy beings, entities composed of plasma, electromagnetic fields, or even pure consciousness, challenges everything we assume about biology. On Earth, life is built on chemistry, carbon chains, water, and molecular machinery, but strip away those constraints and the possibilities become staggering. Picture a civilization that evolved not on a planet, but in the searing heart of a star, where superheated plasma naturally organizes into complex structures. Or entities that exist as self-sustaining patterns in interstellar magnetic fields, communicating through bursts of radio waves like whales singing across light years. Science fiction has flirted with this concept for decades. Star Trek's Q Continuum portrayed nearly omnipotent beings of pure energy, while Solaris imagined a sentient ocean that blurred the line between matter and mind. These stories tap into a profound question: why would evolution stop at flesh and bone? If consciousness is fundamentally information processing, any medium that can store and manipulate data, whether neural tissue, silicon chips, or swirling ionized gas, could theoretically host intelligence. Astrobiologists take the idea seriously enough to theorize how we might detect such life. Traditional methods like searching for oxygen or water would miss them entirely. Instead, we'd need to hunt for anomalies, unexplained energy fluctuations in nebulas, or regions of space where plasma behaves unnaturally, like a school of fish moving in perfect unison. The Sun itself offers clues, solar prominences that seem to dance with eerie coherence, or the mysterious coronal holes that defy standard plasma physics? Could these be signs of something more than natural phenomena? The biggest hurdle is redefining life itself. We're prisoners of our own biology, instinctively searching for versions of ourselves in the cosmos. But the universe might be teeming with intelligences so alien, they don't register as life by our narrow definitions. Imagine a being that perceives time as a landscape to wander, or one that exists as a distributed network across light years, with no central body to point to and say, "This is the creature." Perhaps the most humbling thought of all, if energy beings exist, they might not even notice us. To a consciousness woven into the fabric of space-time, a planet-bound species clinging to rocks and water could be as insignificant as bacteria in a petri dish. Our greatest telescopes and radios might be shouting into a void where the true inhabitants communicate in a language we lack the senses to perceive. And that's the real challenge, not just finding aliens, but recognizing them when they're nothing like anything we've ever imagined. What if Earth isn't just another planet, but a cosmic exhibit, a carefully curated zoo where advanced civilizations watch from the shadows, documenting our every move? This unsettling idea, known as the zoo hypothesis, offers one possible resolution to the Fermi Paradox. Instead of interstellar silence meaning we're alone, it might mean we're surrounded by observers who have agreed not to interfere. Think of it like a galactic prime directive. Aliens could be studying us with the same detached curiosity we reserve for uncontacted tribes in the Amazon, careful not to disrupt our natural development. The ethical implications are dizzying. If true, it would mean humanity's greatest achievements, our wars, our art, even our stumbling attempts at space travel are being scrutinized like ants in an ant farm. Some scientists argue this scenario isn't just plausible but likely. After all, we already enforce similar rules here on Earth. UNESCO protects indigenous cultures from outside influence, and wildlife reserves limit human interaction to preserve ecosystems. Why wouldn't a more advanced civilization extend the same courtesy to a young, volatile species like ours? But there's a darker twist. The zoo hypothesis doesn't necessarily imply benevolence. What if we're not just being observed but managed? Ancient astronaut theories suggest periodic interventions like the sudden leap in human cognition 40,000 years ago, or the agricultural revolution 12,000 years back. Could these milestones have been nudged by unseen overseers? Even now, UFO sightings often cluster near nuclear facilities, as if someone's keeping tabs on our most dangerous technologies. Critics counter that the hypothesis is unfalsifiable, a convenient excuse for the lack of evidence. Without a way to detect these hypothetical watchers, the theory leans closer to metaphysics than science. Yet intriguing parallels exist. SETI failed attempts to detect alien signals might not mean no one's out there, but that everyone's listening and no one's transmitting, respecting some universal embargo on contact. Even our own radio bubble extends barely 100 light years. To a civilization 1,000 years ahead, our broadcasts might be little more than background static. The most haunting question isn't whether we're being watched, but why. Are we a curiosity, an experiment, or a warning? Some models suggest intelligent species might self-destruct so predictably that aliens quarantine fledgling civilizations until they pass some ethical threshold, like surviving climate change or abandoning nuclear brinkmanship. If that's the case, the greatest show in the galaxy might be humanity's tightrope walk between self-destruction and enlightenment. And the moment we prove we're ready, the zookeepers might finally step into the light. Until then, we're left to wonder, is the universe empty, or are we simply on the wrong side of the glass? The night sky hums with whispers, radio waves pulsing from distant stars, cosmic static hissing between galaxies. Most of it blends into background noise, but what if buried in that chaos are deliberate signals, messages waiting to be decoded? This tantalizing question has driven scientists to sift through the cosmic static for decades, hunting for patterns that defy natural explanations. One moment stands out above all others: the WOW signal. On August 15, 1977, Ohio State University's Big Ear radio telescope picked up a 72-second burst of intensity so precise it seemed engineered. Astronomer Jerry Amon circled the data printout in red pen, scribbling "WOW" beside the alphanumeric sequence 6EQUJ5, a code representing the signal's unprecedented strength. It matched no known celestial phenomenon, and despite 45 years of follow-up scans, it's never been detected again. Was it a fleeting hello from another civilization, or just an exotic cosmic hiccup? SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, has spent 60 years refining the art of cosmic eavesdropping. Their approach is akin to finding a needle in a universe-sized haystack, filtering out the roar of pulsars, the crackle of solar flares, and the Doppler whine of passing satellites. Modern algorithms scan millions of frequencies simultaneously, flagging anything that resembles a deliberate signal. Narrow-band transmissions repeating patterns or pulses with mathematical precision. But space is a noisy place. Fast radio bursts, for instance, pack the energy of 500 million suns into milliseconds, yet most trace back to cataclysmic events like colliding neutron stars. Even the famous LGM-1 signal, initially mistaken for alien radio beacons, turned out to be the rhythmic spin of the first discovered pulsar. Could the real challenge be that we're listening wrong? Some theorists argue advanced civilizations wouldn't use radio waves, a technology we've already begun to outgrow. Laser pulses, neutrino beams, or quantum entanglement might be the interstellar FedEx of the future. Others propose aliens are deliberately hiding their signals behind natural phenomena. A technique called spectral compression could embed messages within the emission lines of hydrogen or hydroxyl molecules, the very components of water, making them blend into the universe's background chemistry. It's the cosmic equivalent of writing a letter in invisible ink, knowing only a species actively looking for it would spot the anomaly. Then there's the darker possibility. The signals are everywhere, but we lack the context to recognize them. Imagine an ant wandering across a computer keyboard. The symbols are meaningless without understanding the machine. If aliens communicate through multidimensional math or quantum probabilities, their messages might be as indecipherable to us as Wi-Fi signals would be to medieval peasants. The universe might be shouting at us in a language we've yet to invent. For now, projects like Breakthrough scan the stars with unprecedented sensitivity, while technosignature research expands the hunt beyond radio waves to industrial pollutants in exoplanet atmospheres or the infrared glow of Dyson spheres. Every unexplained blip reignites the debate: are we alone, or is the cosmos teeming with civilizations broadcasting in ways we're only beginning to imagine? Until that next wow moment, we're left straining our ears against the static, wondering if the silence is emptiness or simply a conversation happening just beyond our comprehension. Could the spark of life on Earth have arrived from the stars, carried here deliberately by an advanced civilization? This provocative idea, known as directed panspermia, takes the ancient question of our origins and flips it on its head. While traditional panspermia suggests life spread naturally via comets or asteroids, directed panspermia raises a far wilder possibility that our planet was intentionally seeded like a cosmic garden. The theory gained unexpected credibility when Nobel Prize-winning chemist Francis Crick, co-discoverer of DNA structure, proposed it in the 1970s. Crick noted that DNA's complexity appears too refined to have emerged spontaneously in Earth's early chemistry. Could its blueprint have been deliberately implanted by interstellar biologists? Evidence for this audacious claim is circumstantial but intriguing. Certain microorganisms, like the radiation-resistant Deinococcus radiodurans, can survive years in the vacuum of space, perfect hitchhikers for an interplanetary seeding mission. Even more puzzling, some geneticists point to mysterious sequences in human DNA that don't match any known evolutionary function. These adjunct DNA segments, making up nearly 98% of our genome, could theoretically hold encoded messages or biological signatures from creators. While mainstream science dismisses this as speculative, the discovery of synthetic-looking bases like xenazenonucleic acids in lab experiments shows alternative genetic systems are possible. If nature can produce them, why couldn't an advanced civilization? Critics counter with Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is usually correct. Life's building blocks, like amino acids, are abundant in meteorites, suggesting natural panspermia could explain life's arrival without invoking aliens. The Miller-Urey experiment in the 1950s proved organic molecules form easily under early Earth conditions, and the rapid emergence of life in our planet's geological record just a few 100 million years after the surface cooled hints that biology might be a cosmic inevitability wherever conditions allow. Yet the debate takes a stranger turn with the interventionist school of thought. Ancient astronaut theorists point to myths like the Sumerian tale of the Anunnaki, gods who genetically engineered humans to mine gold, as garbled accounts of alien geneticists. Even the biblical concept of humans made in God's image could be reinterpreted as genetic manipulation. Modern parallels exist too. Synthetic biologists today can design life from scratch, inserting artificial genes into bacteria. If humanity is on the verge of creating life in labs, why couldn't a civilization millions of years ahead have done the same to us? The most chilling version of this theory suggests we might be an experiment, an alien petri dish designed to study evolution or consciousness. Some futurists speculate advanced civilizations could scatter life across galaxies to maximize its survival, treating planets like terrariums. Others wonder if Earth is a zoo or a farm, with humanity as either the exhibit or the crop. The cosmic irony: if directed panspermia is real, our search for alien life might actually be a search for our creators, and the answer could be written in every cell of our bodies. Until we find conclusive proof, the question lingers like a whisper in our DNA. Are we the product of chance or the carefully planned work of intelligence beyond the stars? What if the most advanced civilizations in the universe are all around us, not in distant star systems, but in dimensions we can't perceive? The idea that aliens might be invisible to our senses isn't just science fiction, it's a serious consideration in modern physics. String theory, one of the leading frameworks for understanding the cosmos, suggests our universe might have up to 11 dimensions, with our familiar 3 length, width, and height just a sliver of the full picture. If higher dimensions exist, could intelligent life have evolved there, operating on planes beyond our comprehension? Picture a 2-dimensional being trying to understand a cube. It would only see slices of the shape, never the whole. To us, a hyperdimensional alien might appear as fleeting shadows or inexplicable distortions, their true form forever out of reach. Nature offers eerie parallels to this concept. Certain cephalopods, like cuttlefish and octopuses, manipulate their skin to bend light, effectively turning invisible to predators. Military researchers study these creatures to develop cloaking technology. But what if some cosmic civilizations mastered this on a universal scale? Advanced aliens might manipulate spacetime itself, warping light around their ships or even existing as waveforms rather than solid matter. The bizarre behavior of some UFOs, sudden vanishings, shape-shifting, or appearing translucent, could hint at manipulation of dimensions we barely understand. The implications are staggering. If aliens exist in higher dimensions, our attempts to communicate might be as futile as ants trying to signal to humans by tapping on a sidewalk. Their technology could exploit forces beyond our physics, like dark energy or quantum entanglement, making their presence undetectable by our instruments. Even their concept of reality might be unrecognizable. A being that perceives time as a spatial dimension could walk through centuries like we stroll down a street, observing human history as a single, mutable landscape. This raises a haunting question. How many times have we dismissed strange phenomena as glitches or hoaxes, when the truth might be that we're simply not equipped to see what's right in front of us? The universe's greatest secret might not be hidden in the depths of space, but folded into the fabric of reality itself, waiting for us to evolve the senses or the science to perceive it. Until then, the cosmos could be buzzing with civilizations we're biologically blind to, their existence as obvious to them as ours is to us, separated only by the thin veil of dimensionality. The universe is full of cosmic oddities, but few have sparked as much intrigue as KIC 8462852, better known as Tabby's star. This distant sun, about 1,500 light-years away, behaves like no other. In 2015, astronomers noticed its light was flickering erratically, dimming by up to 22% at irregular intervals. Stars don't just do that. Natural explanations like swarms of comets or interstellar dust struggle to account for the extreme dips. That's when the whispers began. Could this be evidence of an alien megastructure? The idea isn't as wild as it sounds. Back in 1960, physicist Freeman Dyson theorized that advanced civilizations might build colossal energy collectors around stars, vast shells, or swarms of orbiting panels called Dyson spheres. These megastructures would capture every scrap of a star's radiant power, fueling civilizations far beyond our comprehension. Tabby's star's bizarre dimming pattern seemed to fit. If an incomplete Dyson swarm, a loose network of collectors, orbited the star, it could block light unevenly as it rotated, creating those dramatic, unpredictable dips. But hunting for Dyson spheres is like looking for a single cleverly hidden lamp in a pitch-black forest. The telltale sign: waste heat. Even the most efficient megastructure would leak some infrared radiation as it absorbed and repurposed starlight. Astronomers scanned Tabby's star for this infrared glow and found nothing conclusive. That doesn't rule out aliens. Maybe their tech is more advanced than we can detect, but it leaves the door open for natural explanations. Subsequent studies suggested dust clouds with unusual properties might mimic a megastructure's light-blocking effects. Tabby's star isn't alone. Other candidates, like the similarly odd Epic 204378916, show bizarre dimming too. Then there's the star VVVWIT07, whose light curves resemble someone flicking a cosmic dimmer switch. Each new discovery reignites the debate. Are we seeing engineering on an unimaginable scale, or just nature's flair for the dramatic? The real challenge lies in distinguishing the impossible from the merely improbable. A Dyson sphere would be the ultimate signature of a Kardashev Type II civilization, one capable of harnessing an entire star's energy. But nature loves to play tricks. Planets with ring systems, rogue black holes trailing debris, even interstellar gas clouds, all can mimic artificial structures if viewed at the wrong angle. That's the frustration and the thrill of the search. Every weird star is a puzzle box, and while the simplest answer is usually dust or comets, the most exciting one could rewrite our place in the universe. For now, Tabby's star remains a tantalizing enigma, a cosmic wink that keeps astronomers and dreamers alike staring at the data, wondering if we're glimpsing the handiwork of minds greater than our own. Until we know for sure, the search continues because the universe owes us no answers, only questions. And sometimes those questions are enough to keep us reaching for the stars. Imagine your phone suddenly going dead, your car stalling inexplicably, or an entire military base losing radar contact, and then a strange glowing object appears in the sky. This isn't the plot of a sci-fi thriller. It's the kind of eerie scenario reported in UFO encounters for decades. One of the most chilling examples unfolded in December 1980 near England's Rendlesham Forest, where U.S. airmen stationed at a NATO base witnessed strange lights descending into the woods. Radiation levels spiked, nearby farm animals panicked, and their military radios filled with static. all while a triangular craft hovered nearby, seemingly manipulating their equipment at will. The incident remains unexplained, but it raises a provocative question. Could advanced extraterrestrial civilizations be capable of hacking our technology? The idea isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. Electromagnetic pulses, or EMP, are a well-documented phenomenon, bursts of energy that can fry electronics in an instant. Nuclear explosions generate them naturally, but so do solar flares and even certain specialized human weapons. Now consider the reports of UFOs disabling missiles, scrambling aircraft instrumentation, or emitting beams that temporarily paralyze vehicles. In 1976, Iranian fighter jets attempting to intercept a glowing object over Tehran suddenly lost weapon systems and communications, only for them to reactivate the moment the UFO zoomed away. If earthly militaries can develop EMP weapons, why couldn't a civilization thousands of years ahead of us master subtler, more targeted forms of technological disruption? Some theorists take this further, suggesting aliens might not just interfere with our devices, they could be actively surveilling or even influencing them. Crop circles often appear near power lines or military installations. Cattle mutilations, another infamous UFO-associated phenomenon, frequently occur in areas with no footprints or tire tracks, as if the perpetrators bypassed physical barriers entirely. Then there's the bizarre trend of hacked satellites. In 2008, NASA Terra-Earth observing satellite experienced a 10-minute data outage just as a cylindrical UFO appeared on live ISS footage. A coincidence skeptics dismiss, but that true believers call evidence of extraterrestrial curiosity. The creepiest possibility, we might not even recognize an alien hack if it happened. Modern cybersecurity revolves around human hackers, not entities with mastery over quantum computing or space-time itself. Imagine an intelligence that treats our entire internet as an open book, manipulating data streams to study us or guide humanity in unseen ways. Conspiracy circles whisper about alien implants, tiny metallic objects removed from abductees that, when analyzed, exhibit strange isotopic ratios or even emit radio signals. Could these be surveillance devices, or worse, backdoor access points into our biological and digital networks? Of course, not every glitch has a cosmic explanation. Most electronics fail due to mundane reasons like manufacturing defects or solar activity. But the persistence of these patterns, UFOs appearing alongside technological disruptions, often in strategic locations, forces us to confront an unsettling gap in our understanding. If advanced civilizations exist, their relationship with our tech might resemble how we interact with lab mice. Observing, occasionally intervening, but rarely revealing the full extent of their capabilities. Until we have proof, these incidents remain tantalizing breadcrumbs, hints that the universe's most advanced hackers might not be human at all, and that our most secure systems could be an open playground to minds beyond our comprehension. From the towering ziggurats of Sumer to the elaborate pantheons of ancient Egypt, humanity's gods have always descended from the heavens, but what if those divine beings weren't supernatural at all, but visitors from distant worlds? The idea that ancient deities might actually represent extraterrestrials echoes through history, blurring the line between mythology and potential first contact. The Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh describes the Anunnaki as celestial beings who came down from the sky with advanced knowledge, teaching agriculture, mathematics, and law. The Hindu Vedas speak of Vimanas, flying chariots piloted by gods, with technical details that read like aerospace manuals. Even the biblical Ezekiel's vision of a whirlwind with wheels within wheels and beings with burning coals for eyes strikes modern readers as suspiciously reminiscent of a grounded spacecraft. Could these stories be garbled accounts of alien encounters, embellished over millennia into religious lore? The concept gains startling traction in modern movements like Raelism, a UFO religion with tens of thousands of followers. Founded in 1974 by French race car driver Claude Vorilhon, later known as Rael, the group teaches that humanity was created in laboratories by an advanced alien race called the Elohim, a word traditionally translated as God in Hebrew scriptures. Raelians await a coming age when these extraterrestrial creators will return, bringing scientific enlightenment. Their ceremonies include symbolic cloning rituals and the construction of an embassy for alien diplomats near Jerusalem. While mainstream scholars dismiss Raelism as pseudoscience, its rapid growth hints at a deeper societal undercurrent, the persistent human urge to bridge the gap between science and spirituality by personifying cosmic mysteries as benevolent, godlike intelligences. This fusion of divinity and extraterrestrials taps into something primal about human psychology. When faced with the unknown, we instinctively anthropomorphize, assigning familiar shapes and motives to phenomena we can't explain. Ancient cultures interpreted eclipses as celestial battles. Today, UFOs fill a similar role as modern angels or demons. Psychologists note how contactee narratives often mirror religious epiphanies, bright lights, telepathic messages, promises of salvation. The infamous 1952 contactee George Adamski claimed to have met Venusians who resembled Nordic supermodels, preaching peace and warning against nuclear weapons. His books sold millions, despite astronomers pointing out Venus's toxic atmosphere made such visitors impossible. The pattern repeats because it fulfills a need. In a vast, indifferent universe, the idea that someone, perhaps even our creators, is watching over us offers profound comfort. Yet the theory raises uncomfortable questions. If godlike aliens visited Earth, why leave behind only ambiguous artifacts and myths instead of clear technological gifts? Skeptics argue that ancient civilizations were perfectly capable of inventing gods without literal inspiration, pointing to how cultures independently developed similar flood myths without requiring an actual global deluge. The ancient astronaut narrative also risks cultural appropriation, reducing complex religious traditions to mere misinterpretations of alien tech. The Dogon people of Mali, for example, were cited as evidence for extraterrestrial contact due to their precise astronomical knowledge of Sirius B, a star invisible to the naked eye. Later research showed this knowledge likely came from European visitors, not star-hopping amphibious aliens called Nommo. The most compelling counterargument might be biological. If advanced aliens visited Earth thousands of years ago, we'd expect traces in our genome, unexplained insertions, or unnatural evolutionary jumps. Instead, DNA reveals a messy, gradual lineage shaped by natural selection. Yet the absence of proof isn't proof of absence. As astrophysicist Carl Sagan observed, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, especially when dealing with civilizations that might operate on timescales or technological planes beyond our detection. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Maybe early humans encountered something extraordinary, whether natural phenomena like plasma storms or genuine non-human intelligences, and processed these events through the only framework they had, the divine. In that sense, the old gods and new UFOs aren't opposites, but different expressions of the same eternal human quest to find meaning in the cosmos and to wonder if, out there in the starry dark, something wondrous is looking back. When we think about alien life, we usually imagine intelligent beings or strange creatures. But what if the most dangerous extraterrestrial arrivals are too small to see? The threat of alien viruses might sound like science fiction, but scientists take it seriously. Meteorites crashing to Earth could carry microbial stowaways, and future missions to Mars or Europa might accidentally bring back organisms with unpredictable effects. NASA planetary protection protocols exist for this exact reason. Strict rules to prevent contamination between worlds, whether we're sending probes out or bringing samples home. Consider the Murchison meteorite, a space rock that landed in Australia in 1969. Inside, researchers found organic molecules like amino acids, the building blocks of life. If a rock can carry these ingredients, could another harbor something more active? The famous Allen Hills meteorite from Antarctica, once suspected of holding Martian fossils, sparked fierce debate. While most scientists now doubt those claims, the possibility remains. Space isn't sterile. Meanwhile, experiments on the International Space Station show some Earth microbes can survive the vacuum of space, clinging to the station's exterior. If our bacteria can endure those conditions, why wouldn't alien equivalents? Science fiction has long played with this fear. Michael Crichton's The Andromeda Strain depicted a deadly extraterrestrial microbe arriving via satellite, decimating a town within hours. Though fictional, the story tapped into real anxieties. Pathogens evolve alongside their hosts. An alien virus wouldn't need to be intentionally malicious to wreak havoc. Without co-evolved defenses, our immune systems might be defenseless. The COVID pandemic showed how quickly a novel virus can spread globally. An alien counterpart could be far worse. NASA safeguards are rigorous. Mars rovers are sterilized to avoid contaminating the red planet with Earth microbes, and sample return missions will quarantine material in high-security labs before any study. But some worry it's not enough. In 2017, billionaire Yuri Milner's breakthrough starshot proposed sending tiny probes to Alpha Centauri, raising concerns about unintended contamination. Even Elon Musk's SpaceX faced criticism when a crashed Israeli lunar lander spilled tardigrades, nearly indestructible Earth microbes, onto the moon's surface. The flip side, alien microbes could hold revolutionary benefits. Penicillin came from mold. Imagine a Martian bacterium producing the next medical breakthrough. Astrobiologists argue that the risk of a space plague is low. Most extraterrestrial life would be too chemically different to interact with Earth biology. Yet as we push deeper into the cosmos, the line between discovery and danger grows thinner. The universe might be teeming with life, but not all of it will be friendly. Some could be lurking in the next rock that falls from the sky, or the first scoop of soil we bring back from another world. The search for alien life isn't just about curiosity, it's about survival. Every new world we explore could hold wonders or threats we're not prepared for. And unlike Hollywood's pandemics, there's no guarantee we'd even recognize the danger until it's too late. Black holes, cosmic vacuum cleaners with gravity so strong not even light can escape. But what if these terrifying voids aren't just destructive monsters? What if, in their bizarre depths, they harbor life? It sounds like science fiction, but some physicists entertain the possibility. The key lies in rethinking what a black hole really is. Beyond the event horizon, the point of no return, our understanding of physics breaks down. Time and space swap roles, and the singularity at the center defies all known laws. Yet within that chaos, theories suggest information isn't destroyed, just scrambled beyond recognition. Could an advanced civilization exploit that? Imagine a species that's transcended physical form, existing as patterns of information woven into the fabric of space-time itself. To them, a black hole's interior might not be a death trap but a sanctuary, a place where energy is abundant and time stretches infinitely. Russian cosmologist Vyacheslav Dokukiv proposed that certain rotating black holes could contain stable orbits inside their event horizons, regions where photons might even form complex structures. If photons can orbit without falling into the singularity, could information-based life exist there, using light itself as a medium for thought? The crazier twist. We might never know. Anything crossing a black hole's horizon appears frozen from our perspective, its image smeared across time due to extreme gravitational redshift. An alien civilization inside would be utterly cut off from the outside universe, their existence hidden behind a curtain of warped physics. They could be thriving right now, mere light years away, and we'd have no way to detect them. Critics quickly point out the obvious hurdles. The tidal forces near a singularity would spaghettify any known matter, and the radiation baths near active black holes are hardly hospitable. But proponents counter that we're thinking too small. Life as we know it requires planets and water, but life as we don't know it might thrive in environments we'd consider hellish. Earth's extremophiles organisms living in boiling vents or nuclear waste prove biology can adapt to the unlikeliest conditions. Why couldn't a hyper-advanced species engineer itself to survive in a black hole's maelstrom? The most radical theories go further. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics suggest black holes might birth entire universes inside their singularities. If true, aliens living there wouldn't just be surviving, they'd be cosmic architects, nurturing new realities in the dark heart of oblivion. It's a dizzying thought. Black holes as nurseries for civilizations so advanced they've become gods, spinning off pocket dimensions like spider's silk. Of course, this remains speculative, bordering on metaphysics, but that's the thrill of it. Black holes challenge our deepest assumptions about reality, forcing us to ask not just where life could exist, but what life even is. If consciousness can exist as pure information, unshackled from flesh and bone, then the universe's most hostile places might secretly be its most vibrant neighborhoods. And if that's true, the cosmos could be far stranger and far more alive than we've ever dared to dream. What if humanity isn't just another intelligent species in a crowded cosmos, but the very first? This humbling possibility lies at the heart of the rare Earth hypothesis, the idea that while microbial life might be common, the leap to complex, intelligent beings requires such an improbable chain of events that we might be unique. Think about everything that had to go right for us to exist. Earth didn't just need to orbit in the Goldilocks zone. It needed a massive moon to stabilize its tilt, preventing wild climate swings. It required a magnetic field to deflect deadly radiation and plate tectonics to recycle nutrients over billions of years. Then there's Jupiter, acting as a cosmic vacuum cleaner, sucking up asteroids that might have wiped us out. Even our sun is unusually stable, no violent flares to scorch the planet bare. The list goes on, the right minerals, the right chemistry, the right timing. The implications are staggering. If we're the universe's first conscious observers, that means the cosmos has waited 13.8 billion years just to produce a species capable of understanding it. It casts humanity not as insignificant but as privileged, the universe's way of gazing back at itself. This shifts our responsibility from mere survival to something grander, stewardship. If life is this rare, then every extinction event we prevent, every ecosystem we preserve, becomes a cosmic imperative. The thought experiments get wilder. Would we have an obligation to spread life elsewhere? Futurists like Elon Musk argue for colonizing Mars not just for survival, but as a kind of galactic gardening, seeding barren worlds with Earth's biology. Others propose directed panspermia, sending hardy microbes to promising exoplanets, jump-starting evolution where it might never begin naturally. Yet the rare Earth hypothesis isn't without critics. Opponents point to the sheer number of exoplanets, trillions in our galaxy alone. Even if only 1 in a million has the right conditions, that still leaves millions of potential Earths. The counterargument: most of those Earth-like worlds orbit red dwarfs, stars prone to lethal flares. Others are tidally locked, with one scorching side and one frozen. And while life appeared early on Earth, intelligence took nearly 4 billion years to emerge. Maybe the universe is littered with bacterial mats and algae, but nothing that's ever built a radio telescope. There's a haunting beauty to this idea. If we're alone, the night sky isn't a bustling metropolis, it's a vast, untouched frontier. Every star we see represents potential real estate for life we might one day spread. The silence of the cosmos isn't eerie. It's an invitation, of course. Absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence. We've barely scratched the surface in our search. But the mere possibility forces us to confront our role in the universe. Are we just one flickering candle in a galaxy ablaze with light, or the first spark in a darkness waiting to be kindled? The answer changes everything, because if we're the universe's first shot at self-awareness, then every action we take ripples far beyond Earth, echoing across an empty cosmos that's watching, waiting, and wondering what we'll do next. Governments and UFOs have danced a shadowy tango for decades, officials dismissing sightings while quietly filing them away in classified folders. Take Project Blue Book, the U.S. Air Force's infamous UFO investigation that ran from 1952 to 1969. Officially, it debunked over 12,000 cases, attributing them to weather balloons, atmospheric phenomena, or mass hysteria. But declassified documents later revealed a different story. Hundreds of incidents remained unexplained, with witnesses including pilots, radar operators, and military personnel. Why the discrepancy? Skeptics argue it's bureaucratic caution governments hate admitting they don't have answers. Conspiracy theorists, though, see something darker, a calculated effort to suppress evidence of extraterrestrial contact. The plot thickens with modern disclosures. In 2017, the New York Times dropped a bombshell. The Pentagon had secretly funded the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program (OTIP), investigating UFO encounters involving military personnel. Then came the 2021 Pentagon report, openly admitting that some UAP unidentified aerial phenomena exhibited flight capabilities beyond known human technology. These weren't grainy YouTube clips, they were government-sanctioned videos showing objects defying physics, like the now famous Tic Tac UFO recorded by Navy pilots. Suddenly, the conspiracy crowd didn't seem so crazy, but here's the twist. While the releases felt like transparency, critics noted they were carefully curated. No smoking gun, no alien bodies, just enough to acknowledge the mystery without confirming its origin. Enter Bob Lazar, the ultimate wild card in this debate. In 1989, Lazar claimed he'd worked on reverse engineering alien spacecraft at a secret site called S4 near Area 51. His story was riddled with red flags, vanishing educational records, a criminal past, but his technical descriptions of element 115 as a potential fuel source intrigued scientists. Decades later, when Russian labs synthesized tiny amounts of the element now called moscovium, some saw vindication. Was Lazar a brilliant whistleblower or a con artist capitalizing on public fascination? The truth might lie somewhere in between, a disgruntled employee with partial access spinning fact into sci-fi. The real question isn't just whether governments are hiding aliens, it's why they'd bother. One theory suggests Cold War paranoia. During the 50s and 60s, UFO reports risked clogging radar systems with false alarms, masking real Soviet threats. Another angle, technological secrecy. If UFOs are advanced human-made drones or experimental aircraft, admitting their existence could reveal military capabilities to adversaries. But the most tantalizing possibility is that officials themselves don't know what they're dealing with. Imagine stumbling upon technology so advanced it upends physics. Would any administration risk global panic by admitting they're powerless to explain it? Recent whistleblowers, like former intelligence officer David Grush, have added fuel to the fire. In 2023, Grush testified under oath about covert programs recovering non-human biologics from crashed UFOs. His claims, while unproven, followed a pattern: credible insiders dropping hints just substantive enough to stir controversy, yet never quite delivering proof. This dance, leaking just enough to keep the public curious but never satisfied, has led some to suspect a deeper game. Are these disclosures controlled, drip-fed to acclimate us to a future revelation? Or are they red herrings designed to muddy the waters and discredit genuine inquiry? The conspiracy rabbit hole goes deeper with anomalies like the Wilson Davis memo, a leaked document alleging a secretive UFO, MJ-12 group overseeing recovered alien tech. Mainstream historians dismiss it as a hoax, but its persistence in UFO lore highlights a cultural tension. our thirst for answers clashes with the reality that some secrets might stay buried for national security reasons. Even Congress has taken notice, holding hearings on UAPs and pushing for less red tape around reporting. Yet transparency advocates argue the real cover-up isn't about aliens, it's about unchecked black budgets and unaccountable secrecy. At its core, the conspiracy debate reflects something profoundly human, our distrust of power and our longing for cosmic companionship. Whether the truth involves extraterrestrials or experimental jets, one thing's clear: the line between fact and folklore is as blurry as a UFO in a foggy night sky. And until a spacecraft lands on the White House lawn, we're left piecing together clues, wondering if the truth is out there or if it's been hiding in plain sight all along. Finding definitive proof of alien life might be the ultimate cosmic needle in a haystack challenge, not because the universe is empty, but because the obstacles in our way are staggering. Think about it, even the nearest star system, Alpha Centauri, is over 4 light-years away. A radio signal sent by aliens there would take 4 years just to reach us and another 4 for our reply. Now scale that up to the billions of stars in our galaxy, many thousands of light-years distant. By the time a message crosses that gulf, the civilization that sent it could have risen and fallen. Distance isn't just a physical barrier, it's a time machine forcing us to communicate with ghosts. And then there's the problem of recognition. Suppose an alien broadcast reached Earth tomorrow. Would we even know it was artificial? SETI algorithms hunt for patterns, repeating pulses, prime number sequences, narrow-band signals. But what if extraterrestrials communicate in ways we haven't imagined? Imagine handing a smartphone to Benjamin Franklin. He might dismiss its glowing screen as witchcraft. We could be drowning in alien messages right now, mistaking them for stellar noise or quantum fluctuations. Yet hope isn't lost, it's evolving. New telescopes like the James Webb are revolutionizing the hunt by analyzing exoplanet atmospheres for biosignatures, gases like oxygen or methane that hint at biological activity. Europa Clipper, launching soon, will skim the icy plumes of Jupiter's moon, sniffing for organic molecules. Even more ambitious projects loom on the horizon. Breakthrough Starshot aims to send laser-propelled microprobes to Alpha Centauri within decades, while the Square Kilometer Array radio telescope will scan millions of stars simultaneously with unprecedented sensitivity. The game changer might not be technology, but time. Life has existed on Earth for billions of years, yet human civilization has only been detectable via radio for about a century. That's a cosmic blink, meaning we're either incredibly early to the party or tragically late. If intelligent life is rare or short-lived, every new instrument we build is a desperate bid to catch a whisper before it fades forever. Or perhaps the answer lies closer than we think. The Pentagon's UAP disclosures prove that even our own skies hold mysteries we can't yet explain. Whether those phenomena are secret aircraft, sensor glitches, or something stranger, they remind us that absence of proof isn't proof of absence. The universe has kept its secrets for billions of years, but with every telescope we launch and every signal we decode, we're narrowing the gap between speculation and discovery. The definitive proof we crave might be hiding in tomorrow's data, or it might be staring us in the face, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. From the eerie silence of the Fermi Paradox to the tantalizing whispers of ancient astronaut theories, these 30 questions peel back the layers of our cosmic curiosity like ripples in space-time. We've wondered if microbial life swims in Europa's hidden oceans, debated whether advanced civilizations might be machines, and even questioned if we're the universe's first conscious experiment. Each mystery isn't just a puzzle, it's a doorway inviting us to rethink what's possible. Could black holes harbor unimaginable life? Are gods and aliens the same story told across millennia? The answers aren't just out there, they're woven into the fabric of our science, our myths, and our restless drive to explore. But here's the beautiful part: the more we learn, the deeper the questions become. Every discovery, a bizarre exoplanet, an unexplained signal, a declassified government file, adds another piece to the mosaic without revealing the full picture. Maybe that's why the search for alien life captivates us so deeply. It's not just about finding neighbors, it's about understanding our place in a universe that keeps surprising us. The fact that we're asking these questions at all is a triumph, a testament to humanity's audacity to stare into the void and demand answers, so keep wondering. Share your wildest theories in the comments. Maybe your idea will spark someone else's breakthrough. And remember, whether we're alone or surrounded by cosmic kin, the act of searching changes us. It humbles us, it connects us, because somewhere between the equations and the ancient myths, between the radio telescopes and the campfire stories, we're not just hunting for aliens. We're learning what it means to be human in a universe brimming with possibilities. The next chapter of this story hasn't been written yet, but with curiosity as our compass, who knows what wonders we'll uncover out there in the stars or right here at home, waiting to be seen with new eyes.